Hey, have you ever watched Satoru Gojo in Jujutsu Kaisen and thought, how is he so confident and magnetic? The power of confidence isn't just his gift, it's something you can have too. You know that insecurity that holds you back when it's time to speak up or take action? Here, we're breaking down the secrets behind Gojo's charisma, with practical psychology tips and real inspiration to help you connect better, stand out anywhere, and transform your life. Come with me and discover how to become the best version of yourself. Imagine a guy who walks into a room, and without even trying, everyone turns to look at him. That's Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. He's the kind of character who doesn't need to shout to get attention. With his dark sunglasses, messy white hair, and a smirk that mixes confidence with a hint of sarcasm, Gojo is like that one friend who always seems to know exactly what he's doing, even when the world is falling apart. Sure, he's a powerful sorcerer, but what really makes him shine is his magnetic presence. He makes people either want to be him, or at least be around him. Gojo isn't just a pretty face or some overpowered guy. He gives off an energy that makes you want to figure out what's behind that laid-back vibe. He's a teacher, a mentor, and sometimes a natural-born troublemaker, but always with a bigger purpose. In the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, he's like an anchor in a sea of chaos, facing terrifying curses with the same chill you'd have picking out a snack. And why? Because he trusts himself. Not in an arrogant way, but with a deep, grounded confidence that makes you wonder, how does someone get to that level? When you look at Gojo, you don't just see an anime character. He's like a mirror of something we all want. The ability to face life with ease, even when it throws heavy stuff our way. He's not perfect, but he always seems one step ahead. Like he knows something the rest of us are still trying to figure out. And that's what makes him so captivating. He pulls you into the story and makes you want to understand what makes him so special. Want to know the secret? It's not just power. It's how he thinks and acts. Think about it. How many times have you wished you had that kind of confidence? That ability to laugh in the face of danger. Gojo is like an invitation to reflect on what's holding you back from being more sure of yourself. He wasn't born the strongest in the world by chance, but it's also not just about talent. He trained, grew, and learned to use his strength in a way that inspires others. And more importantly, he doesn't keep that light to himself. He uses it to lift up the people around him, especially his students. So, what makes Gojo so unforgettable? It's not just the strength or the cool look, it's the way he blends power, humor, and heart. He makes you want to become a better version of yourself. Someone who faces fear with a smile and helps others do the same. And that, my friend, is just the beginning of the story. Ready to dive deeper? Satoru Gojo isn't just the most powerful sorcerer in Jujutsu Kaisen. He's the kind of person that makes you stop and think, I wish I had that kind of confidence. His strength isn't just about insane powers, it's about the way he carries himself. It's like he knows he can handle anything, and that certainty shows in everything he does. Have you ever noticed how some people just have that glow? Gojo is one of them. And the secret isn't just in his magic, but in how he approaches life, with the perfect balance of confidence and charisma. His self-confidence is contagious. When he walks in, it feels like the whole atmosphere shifts. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, and that's freeing. You know those moments when you feel unsure, second-guessing yourself? Gojo seems like someone who never doubts himself, not because he's perfect, but because he accepts who he is, flaws and all. That's something we can all learn. Believing in yourself isn't about being unbeatable. It's about knowing your worth, even when life tests you. Gojo's charisma is also a kind of superpower. He's not just the guy who defeats curses, he's the guy everyone wants to listen to. Whether he's joking around with students or facing a villain, he has this way of making people feel seen. And that's rare. How often do you meet someone who makes you feel important just by being there? Gojo does that all the time, and no wonder his students look up to him. He doesn't just lead, he inspires. But let's be real, it's not all perfect. That confidence sometimes borders on arrogance, and he knows it. But instead of letting it bring him down, He leans into it, turning even his flaws into something that makes him more human. It's like he's saying, it's okay to not be perfect as long as you believe in yourself. That's a lesson we can take with us. It's not about never messing up. It's about getting back up with style. So, what does Gojo teach us? That being confident isn't about having all the answers. It's about facing the questions with courage. He's more than just a strong guy. He's proof that the way you see yourself can change the way the world sees you. Want to find out how he does it so effortlessly? Let's keep going. Satoru Gojo is like that one friend who walks into a group, and within minutes, it feels like he's known everyone for years. He's a social chameleon, adapting to any situation, whether he's joking with his students or facing a deadly enemy. And it's not just charm, it's sharp psychological skill. He reads the room like no one else, adjusting his tone, humor, and even body language to connect with whoever's around. Ever thought how freeing it would be to just flow like that, without worrying about what others think? That ease comes from something simple but powerful. Low social anxiety. Gojo isn't stuck wondering whether people will accept or reject him. He just is. That doesn't mean he never feels fear or doubt. It means he doesn't let those feelings run the show. It's like he's got this inner voice telling him, relax, you've got this. And here's the good news. That mindset can be trained. It starts with small steps, like smiling at a stranger, or saying what you really think without fearing it'll sound dumb. Gojo makes it look easy, but it's built through practice. Another big strength of his is the balance between self-confidence and self-esteem. Confidence is believing you can do something. Self-esteem is liking who you are. Gojo has both, in just the right amount. He knows he's good at what he does, but he never uses that to put others down. In fact, he lifts up the people around him. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly good about yourself without comparing to anyone else? Gojo lives like that. And that's what makes him magnetic. He also has a rare skill, really listening. Not just hearing words, but understanding what someone's feeling. When he talks to his students, you can tell he picks up on their insecurities, fears, and dreams. That's what creates deep bonds. You know that one teacher who made an impact because it felt like they got you? Gojo's that guy. He doesn't just teach sorcery. He teaches people how to believe in themselves. And that starts with listening from the heart. So, what do we take from this? Connecting with others isn't about being the loudest or funniest in the room. It's about being present, being real, and making people feel seen. Gojo shows us that with a bit of practice and authenticity, anyone can build meaningful bonds that change lives. Want to see how that plays out in his role as a mentor? Satoru Gojo is the king of charisma, and it's not just because he's cool. There's real science behind it. Like psychologist Ronald Riggio explains, charisma comes down to 3 things: adapting to your environment, starting conversations easily, and understanding others' emotions. Gojo nails all 3, like he read the charisma manual and decided to rewrite it. Whether he's walking into a fight or a classroom, he adjusts his vibe to connect with whoever's there. Have you noticed how he always seems in control, without even trying? First, adaptation. Gojo is like water. He flows with whatever the moment needs. One second, he's joking around with his students, and the next, he's staring down a villain with a look that could freeze your soul. That kind of flexibility makes him stand out without forcing it. And that's a lesson for all of us. Being charismatic isn't about always acting the same. It's about knowing how to move with the moment. How many times have you frozen up in a new situation, not sure what to do? Gojo would say, relax, be yourself, just match the rhythm. Next, there's the ability to start conversations. Gojo doesn't wait for others to make the first move. He jumps right in, talking, joking, sometimes even teasing, but always in a way that makes people feel comfortable. It breaks the ice instantly. Ever tried starting a conversation with someone new? It can feel scary. But Gojo shows that it's all about taking that first step lightly. A smile, a joke, a genuine question. Boom, you're already in. And the third pillar, understanding others. Gojo doesn't just talk, he listens. Really listens. When he's with his students, you can tell he picks up on what they're feeling, even if they don't say a word. That builds trust. Think about a time when someone truly listened to you. It feels kind of magical, right? Gojo does that all the time. That's why he's not just a leader. He's someone who inspires. Charisma isn't about being the brightest. It's about helping others shine too. So what does this teach us? That charisma isn't some magical gift. It's a skill you can develop. By adjusting to your environment, starting conversations without fear, and genuinely caring about others, you can be more like Gojo. He reminds us that charisma is about connection, not competition. Want to see how he uses this to shape his students and impact the world around him? Let's dive in. Satoru Gojo isn't just an unbeatable sorcerer. He's a mentor who transforms his students. He doesn't want them to be copies of himself. He wants them to find their own strengths. Think about it. He takes young people full of doubts, like Yuji and Megumi, and guides them to become independent and confident. He doesn't give them ready answers. He asks questions that push them to think. Have you ever had someone who pushed you to believe in yourself? Gojo is that person, and it comes from his desire to change the rigid system of the Jujutsu world, which he sees as unfair. This mentor mindset shows in how he acts. Even in dangerous fights, his body language screams confidence. Relaxed shoulders, an easy smile, steady steps. It's not just style, it's a message. He shows that even in chaos, you can stay calm if you trust yourself. And that's powerful. How many times have you felt lost in a tense situation? Gojo teaches us that confidence isn't just about talent. It's about how you choose to face challenges with courage and ease. Another thing is how youthful impulsiveness shows up in his students. But Gojo, with his maturity, helps them make better decisions. He was young and impulsive once too, but learned to channel it. Studies show maturity brings better emotional control, and Gojo is living proof. He doesn't suppress his students. He guides them to turn raw energy into thoughtful action. That's something we can all apply. Instead of acting on impulse, try to pause, breathe, and think like Gojo would. And there's more. Gojo's confidence might have genetic roots. Research, like that of psychologist Judith Rich Harris, suggests traits like self-confidence can be influenced by genes. But the environment shapes how they show up. Gojo was born with talent, but it was his choice to work on it that made him who he is. That's a message for us. No matter what you have in your DNA, what matters is how you use it. Small daily actions, like facing a fear or helping someone, can take you further than you think. The big lesson from Gojo: you don't have to be the strongest to make a difference. Be your own mentor. Believe in your potential, connect with others, and face life with a smile, even when it challenges you. Gojo shows us that greatness is about inspiring, growing, and helping others grow too. Take this with you. Every step you take with confidence is a win, not just for you, but for those around you.